Hey there, Sonic fans. Have the regular Sonic games been getting you down? Frustrated that the last 12 years or so of Sonic has been nothing but garbage? Well, your frustrations are understandable, and that's why I've come today to tell you about the wonderful world of Sonic fan games. 'Cause when your hopes have fallen this far, you can always rely on a fallen star. Hello everybody, I'm Garrulous64, and today I have some really exciting Sonic stuff to show off. This is a stark contrast to the usual start of a video where I'm always like, here's another Sonic game that sucks, and everyone in the comments is going to be mad at me for saying that. No, today we have a fan game, so obviously my attitude is a lot better. Sonic and the Fallen Star is a 2D Sonic fan game, we have a lot of those, but this one sticks out because it is actually a finished game that you can download and play right now for free. Remember, never pay for fan games, that's a big no-no. I first heard about this game in a comment under one of my videos at some point. I can't find out where that comment was or who it was, so I apologize for that, but you know who you are. And I decided to look this up because I was like, oh, that sounds like it could be neat, and I was met with this really incredible 3D animation in the trailer for it. And I was a little bit tricked at first because I thought this was like a classic Sonic-styled, like really nice retro 3D Sonic game, but then it turned out to just be a very nice, classic-styled, and gorgeous-looking 2D Sonic game. Not gonna lie, for a split second, I was like almost not gonna try it because I was really looking forward to like a 3D Sonic game, but I know that's a very difficult thing to do, so I started up Sonic and the Fallen Star regardless. Before I go any further though, I just want to give a huge thank you to my current channel supporters who you can see on screen right now, and remember, if you want to know anything about supporting the channel, you can click the join button below. Even $1 will get your name listed here, and it helps out the channel a whole lot, so thank you very much. The game starts out like any other, with Sonic and Tails on the tornado chasing Dr. Eggman, who is flying over to this island that has a new powerful artifact that he wants to exploit. This would of course be the titular Falling Star, and it makes a lot of Kirby sound effects, so that makes me even more happy than I already was. Cause I'm sitting here watching a very beautifully animated cutscene that is just so stylish, and the music is so fantastic, and it feels like I'm watching a fan animation that I will also get to play in just a couple seconds. We start off in Sapphire Sight Zone, which is a brilliant name. The entirety of the stage list in this game has alliterative names, and you know how much I like that if you've been hanging around the channel for a while. I was an English major back in college, I really like writing. It's just very nice. Stuff like that just rolls off the tongue, it makes you feel good. Returning from Sonic Mania, we have the drop dash, because it should be in every 2D Sonic game from now on. We also have the peel out, and we have the ability to curl into a ball after going off a spring, so you're less vulnerable in the air. We've also got elemental shields from Sonic 3 back, but they do different things. Like, the bubble shield is square, and actually it doesn't do anything different, I lied to you, but the fire shield doesn't have a dash move. It instead acts like the burst wisp from Sonic Colors DS. And that was a pretty underrated move in my opinion, so I'm glad they brought that into this game because it makes exploration, especially in vertical areas, very interesting. There's not too much else to report about Sapphire Sight specifically because we are mainly just learning about how the game is designed and all that, and it's designed really well. There are a lot of moments of nice little speed-ups you get. There's a lot of moments where if you jump or use moves in the right place, you just have this really nice sense of like, look at me, I'm zooming through the stage, Mom, I feel great. And it culminates with a boss fight with Dr. Eggman in this big mech, and it shows off how nice, like, the large sprites in this game look in addition to all of the other sprites, and, like, all these little subtle things, how Eggman is, like, if you hit him, he's got this really nice expression, and it's like a blink and you miss it thing. Within the first act of the first zone, I'm already convinced that this game was made with so much love that it's basically bursting out of the seams. And that's something I wish we could see in the official products, but you know, it's a cold corporate world out there. Upon beating the first boss, we find the Fallen Star, and it separates into several pieces because I assume Eggman has been tampering with things and he's messed with the natural order and we're all gonna die in 24 hours. Sonic and Tails decide to prevent whatever fate may befall them if they're not too careful, and we head over to Tropical Tracks Zone. This is where I feel the need to start gushing about the music in this game because oh my gosh. Oh my good golly gosh, is the soundtrack in this game something to die for. It definitely feels a little bit different than the usual things you might associate with Sonic the Hedgehog, but that is in no way a bad thing because this music is heart-pumping and heart-stopping in certain situations, so thankfully that kind of evens out and I'm still alive. For instance, one of my favorite songs in the game, and coincidentally one of the songs that I hear over and over again in my head to this day, is the Special Stage theme. Now, I don't know if this is a Stockholm Syndrome thing, because I heard the song so much during my playthrough, but the Special Stage theme it honestly just got me ready to play these stages, even if it was my 50th replay of some of them. Now, if you heard of Sonic and the Fallen Star before this video, it might be because people are talking about how, like, crazy impossible some of the special stages are, and I'm here to tell you, they are possible. But it did take me 50 minutes of continuously trying over and over again to beat a couple of them. In concept, they're not that difficult. You're running down a straightaway, and you have to collect blue spheres to speed up, and rings to stay in the stage, kind of like Sonic Mania, except you're working on a lap system that you're chasing down the Chaos Emerald, and eventually you will get fast enough and reach the Emerald and leave the special stage. But a combination of things being a little bit inconsistent in terms of how they interact with Sonic, and just some general, like, placement of, like, obstacles, it makes these things incredibly frustrating. And when I was playing, I thought it was just me being bad. But apparently, when I went and found the song, because I wanted to listen to it while I was just, doing other things, a lot of people were saying, hey, I hear this song in my nightmares. And I'm glad that it wasn't just me, but also it makes me feel really glad that I managed to get all of the Chaos Emeralds when I was streaming. I do like the special stages a lot. They are just, they're a little rough in some places. I think, like, that's, like, the one part of the game where I can say, hey, this needs to maybe be altered a little bit, but I do think they're really great. Now, I don't want to spoil the entire game for you, but basically you're traveling through multiple zones as you might expect, and trying to find pieces of that fallen star. I can mention a few standout zones here, because I do want you to play the game for yourself. We have things like Bubble Blossom Zone, which is a water level, which, is strange that I actually enjoy playing around in it, but it is a fun water level because the people who designed this game obviously know what they're doing and know how to make even a water level entertaining. I also just love the aesthetic of this whole place, and again, I was here for a long time because this is one of the stages where I was stuck on a special stage, but I ended up appreciating the whole thing as a whole, so don't just think that I'm doing the Stockholm thing again. I promise I'm not. Act 2 also reminds me a lot of Press Garden Act 2, how it opens up into this beautiful, like, really brightly colored area, and you're just like, oh my god, I love this so much, like, I wish I could live here. Frozen Fountain Zone is also another really big highlight on my playthrough. I really don't even know what to call this aesthetic. It's just like this futuristic-y, snowy landscape with music that it kind of just gives me chills, no pun intended. It's something about, like, all of the blues and purples and yellows, and they have a blue checkerboard in the background that almost blended in with my stream layout. Maybe I'm biased, but oh my goodness, this game is a treat for the eyes. And now, since we're getting into spoilery territory a little bit, if you want to play this game, you might not want to watch the rest of this, but once we get to the final act, Thunder Turbine Zone, we have yet more very interesting platforming gimmicks that do feel like a final stage, in my opinion. And the boss of this zone is no joke. Like, this is something I had to keep refighting over and over again, not because it's cheap, but because it has a lot of interesting patterns and you need to learn how to dodge them the correct way. And a really nice small touch that I didn't notice until I was watching the footage back just now is that the Act 2 boss of Sapphire Sights, the first zone in the game, is actually using some similar moves to this final boss. So it's a really nice nod to the beginning of the game if you can remember that far back. I ended up playing this on 2 separate days finishing it, so I didn't remember, but I really like seeing that now that I've noticed it. Again, this is big spoiler territory, because we have all the Chaos Emeralds, and you know what that means. Eggman is about to do some crazy shit up over there, and Sonic can't keep up with him on the ground, so he turns into Super Sonic, but the Fallen Star also resonates with him, and he becomes some kind of shooting star Sonic. I don't know if this form has an official title by the devs or not, but I'm just gonna go with that for now. This boss fight is another thing I spent a lot of time on, and this one is, I think, kind of the game's problem and not mine. This is one of those encounters where Eggman's weapons can actually take rings away from you when they hit you, and usually that's not an issue because groups of rings will fly by and you can collect them to kind of make up for what you lost. But in this one, the attacks come so frequently and they're really hard to dodge, and only like one ring will float by. There's no like set groups of rings, so you kind of have to devote a lot of time to running around the screen grabbing single rings to build back up what you lost, and that ends up being almost impossible in some circumstances. I don't know what the solution to that issue would be. I think stopping him from removing rings from you with his attacks might make it a little too easy. Maybe it's just like have it so more groups and clusters of rings will spawn here, so you can kind of stay alive longer, but you still need to watch out for his attacks. All I know is the only way I was able to do this was, like, I just started cheesing it as fast as possible when I got, like, a good attempt, because I was kind of fighting this for probably 20-30 minutes trying to get through it. I don't like that that's how I had to finish the boss, but I was getting really frustrated by the end of it. But, you know, out of the whole game, those are really the only two things I had a problem with. The special stages and then this supersonic fight need, like, some tweaking, and then I think this is, like, gonna be perfect. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with Sonic and the Fallen Star. It is an amazing Sonic fan game that came out of nowhere, as far as I'm concerned, and has become one of my favorite things that I've played in the last several years. I don't know if they're going to update it to change any of the things that I mentioned here, because I do know a lot of people have been talking about that stuff, but if they do, it's going to be an even better experience when you play, and if you're tenacious enough to actually complete the special stages, it's not going to matter, I guess. But, yeah, definitely give this one a check out, and I will see all of you next week for some more Sonic Adventure 2 Chow stuff.